Today, I want to talk to you about how Trump's cabinet picks are a big fu to the rest of us, to anybody normal, to anybody sane, who anybody who believes in the normal functioning of government. So, there's strategy here is several fold. One is to create outrage. He's coming in hot. He's coming in heavy. They love it when we protest the cabinet picks, when we say they're off the rails, they're unqualified, whatever. They actually love that. So, what we want to do is we want to resist, we want to protest without being outraged. Now, some of the cabinet picks are just, insane on their face. Matt Gaetz is totally unqualified to be the attorney general. Linda McMahon for Department of Education. But remember, she's probably no worse than Betsy DeVos, who we had the first time around. Pete Hegseth for Secretary of Defense, Tulsi Gabbard. I think I've mentioned some of these before. It's also interesting how many of them have sexual charges around them. Matt Gaetz, Hegseth, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who actually said more things might be coming out. Linda McMahon, not for actually doing sexual assault things herself, but for actually covering them up or supporting someone who did. So these are the people that he's putting forward. People like Dr. Oz, who is, not a serious person. So understand again, I think part of the reason is they want to have outrage. The other thing is he's got Steve Bannon whispering in his ear, and Steve Bannon and others in his circle have said they want to destroy what they call the administrative state. He said he's a Leninist. He wants to basically destroy the way the government, the way that it functions. They want to tear down agencies and maybe even entire departments. So if you put people in place who are incompetent, that's going to make those agencies fail, and therefore you can get rid of them. So that's another one of the strategies. The other thing is Trump likes yes men, and he realized the last time around that by putting people in place who are competent and who are intelligent and who think for themselves, if even if they don't push back at first, they're probably going to eventually. People like Jeff Sessions, who was actually qualified to be attorney general, and probably Bill Barr for that matter. Even though Bill Barr was in Trump's pocket for a long time, it finally got to the point where Bill Barr started pushing back a little bit. I don't think you have to ever worry about Matt Gaetz pushing back on Trump ever for any reason. So what he's trying to do this time around is put in people who will just be yes men. And Trump plans to run these things himself. He thinks he knows everything. So he wants people in place. He can just say, do this. And when he says to jump, they'll say, how high? And I think lastly, a strategy for doing this with these outrageous picks is it's a test of Congress. How far will the Republican Senate go in order to support Trump? Will they push back? Now, Rand Paul has made some noise about pushing back a little bit on using the military. A few people, I think, in private have said they want to push back against some of his cabinet picks. I think some even publicly have said maybe they're questioning some of his cabinet picks. But it's set up that initial thing like, are you going to capitulate? As a Republican Congress is going to fold and say, yes, you can have whoever and whatever you want. You've got this quote unquote mandate. And we'll talk about this quote unquote mandate going forward. There's some interesting numbers behind that, and I don't think there is the mandate that they're claiming. So these are the reasons why Trump is making these ridiculous cabinet picks. And while he's in such a rush to do it at that, I mean, inauguration's not for another a couple of months. So what do? I think we can push on our Congress to be reasonable, to stand up, to do their jobs. I happen to live in a state where there are two Republican senators. I don't know how much they're going to listen, but I think we should push on them. We need to pen these picks. As I mentioned in my video about the 10 strategies for fighting this, not just on Trump, but on the Republican Party. And then we say that, make this their responsibility. These are the people that you want to put in place. People who have no moral character, people who have no backbone, people who have no qualifications, and people who basically don't believe in the normal functioning of government. And pin that on them, make them own that. And maybe we can see if we can, at least slow things down. So over the next couple of years, it's going to be a matter of basically slowing down the progress of what they want to do. It's going to be minimizing the damage. We're not going to be able to eliminate all of it, but we can minimize it and we can slow it down and we can understand the strategies of what they're doing and why they're doing. and respond in a reasonable and effective way. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Please comment below and let me know what you think, and let me know what you'd like to see in future videos. Have a great day.